everyone. Welcome to the Meet Cute podcast, where we talk about all things romantic comedy, but mostly the bad ones. It's your hosts here, Eddie Strip Club Brecht.
Zach Gas Station Water Rathio.
And Haley Jane, that thing when your car makes that noise that goes like Rose.
And we have a very special guest here in the studio today. She's super funny. You may know her if you listen to Jim and Sam on SiriusXM radio. Please welcome Alina Martinez.
I'm also known as Chance the Rapper's second wife. Just so everyone knows.
I've heard that.
That's going to be me.
It's not going to work out this time.
No,
you're coming.
I'm also going to go to jail for being the one that speaks up because Taylor Swift has an album, Speak Now. She tells you to speak now. So I'm getting my butt over to Chicago, guys. Enjoy. You'll see me on TV. I'll go viral. Right. And then this one will go viral. People are like, oh, she said it beforehand. And then I'll get longer time in jail because I thought about it.
You're like the Unabomber, like laying out your plans before you do it.
Which I shouldn't, but I trust you and all your millions of your
Zodiac
fans.
killer of love.
Oh, that's actually a beautiful statement. I would put that on my Tinder profile. I would have so many matches, guys.
From ready. People that you don't want to talk to.
I already do. So it's just like extra. It's like to feel popular.
Yeah.
I'm popular.
Alina, do you watch a lot of romantic comedies?
I watch them in the bathtub, on Subway. I'm watching next to my local hobo. I'm like, you sad today? Let's watch a movie.
Right, but do you watch them like normally, like in a chair or something?
That's awkward.
Okay.
I don't want to sit down.
Right.
I want to be comfy.
I was like a Dr. Seuss. I watch him in the tub. I watch him
with a bub.
I just love Dr. Seuss. He influenced me a lot as a child. He has
did
love
not
stories
like
also.
The Japanese.
He did it?
What's that story?
I'm sorry, everyone. He was for Japanese American internment camps.
Was that his wiki page? If it's not on the wiki page, I don't believe it.
That was his thing. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't his thing.
Why? What else did he do? He was a doctor of what exactly?
So all the places we'll go is like about everyone but Japanese people. Like that's just you going to internment camp.
Yeah. In the background of those pictures, you can just see.
Oh no.
There's like signs that says Florida Chulubal and like Garbin Boop. And then like internment camp in the other direction.
Would he be pro like the separation? You think of like the politics? Everybody. Do you think
would Dr. Seuss be for or against ICE?
Yeah. He'd probably make like political things.
I think he could make it rhyme, I guess.
We can reach out to the Seuss estate.
We'll get next episode, guys. We'll get serious. Meet cute, a really cute meet cute.
Yeah.
Alina, what kind of like romantic comedies are your favorite? I feel like they're all like cliche, and you could probably label it down to like a cliche that you love.
Early 2000s.
Sure.
Girls like getting the guy. Okay, nerd girl getting the popular guy.
Sure.
Most take off the glasses.
Yeah,
She's
makeover.
hot. Oh my, that's my dream. I take off my glasses sometimes. Like, where is she? Where's the transformation? Where is she? And then I start singing "Reflection" by Mulan. I'm like, who is that girl I see? Because I don't know her anymore. She's different. So I start singing to myself, and then my roommate, best friend Johnny, says, "Shut up."
So you're a fan of the like come down the stairs in a gown feels? Yes. So that's a good transition because this definitely happens in this movie.
Literally, there's a scene. Like,
there's
the most
a
iconic
full scene.
Yeah.
We watched a Cinderella Story.
The first one, everybody. I know you want all three. I know you want all four of them in the series, but
I know you want a full episode where we dissect all four, but we've got the first one.
Wait. What? There are multiple Cinderella stories?
Yeah.
One of them starring Selena Gomez
next
as like
one.
a ballroom dancer, right?
yes.
Are
With Drew
they
Seeley.
would one call them sequels, or are they like the Cloverfield movies where they're like
They're
slightly
ABC family
related?
movies, and I think that explains
They're
it
way
all.
more like the Cloverfield movies than you can even imagine. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today we only watched the first film, A Cinderella Story.
The 2004 film directed by Mark Rosman. Don't know who that is, but of course starring Hillary Duff, Chad Michael Murray, Jennifer Coolidge, and Regina King.
Talk about all-stars.
Honestly, all four of them turned in phenomenal performances. We're gonna praise. I have a feeling we're gonna praise Jennifer Coolidge a lot during this episode.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
She
definitely.
has, not just in this movie, but in all her entire career, she has done more for this country than the Marines.
Yeah, not to say that the Marines aren't heroes.
They work.
But they're great. They're
She's just
fantastic.
done
But
more.
Jennifer Coolidge, hands down, yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge gives a over the top slapstick performance that like men like in black and white films would be jealous of. Like her character commitment is so good and she's just a treasure. I love her
in everything.
in everything. So I'll just give a little plot. Hillary Duff, who plays Sam Montgomery, lives in the San Fernando Valley with her widowed father, who runs a sports-themed diner.
A sexy woman.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Fiona, Jennifer Coolidge.
Fiona.
She meets Fiona. So before
Not the Shrek character, guys.
No, of course not.
Don't get it twisted.
So before he dies, he meets Fiona, and they instantly fall in love. And she has 2 daughters, and they all get married and create a bit of a Brady Bunch situation.
And honestly, Jennifer Coolidge comes in this like opening montage, and she has like brown hair and glasses, and honestly, she's like rocking this look. Like, I was like, ooh, if only she stayed like this. But she didn't. Dads always own diners in romantic comedies. I feel like they always own like a mom and pop shop or like a diner.
And I like how
Yes.
in like all of these, it's never like a creative name. It's always like Hal's Diner or like Bob's Furniture Resale Store.
You only had the pre-sale store. So Hillary Duff is narrating this like montage where she talks about her life with her dad. It's like this fairy tale and, you know, marrying the Jennifer Coolidge and the 2 daughters and blah, blah, blah. But like something about her voice, like Hillary Duff's voice takes me to a place that like I can't even describe the feeling. It's just like I feel like young and I feel like vulnerable and like her, it's like a little bell.
I still talk like her when I want to be cool in front of boys. I'm like,
Yes, I miss her sigh. You know, when she goes like, you know,
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
she did it in all of Lizzie McGuire, where
I
it's
think
like
she
something wasn't going.
originated the
Oh
sigh.
yeah, she originated the teen angst. Like
She overacts.
I loved it.
but so well.
Oh
that
my
it's
God.
so good.
So good. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's move on. She's doing the montage and it's her as a little girl and her dad's reading her a bedtime story and she always gets read from this book of fairy tales like every night that her dad reads. And I love that he said this. He said, fairy tales aren't just about finding handsome princes. They're about fulfilling your dreams and about standing up for what you believe in. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
I wrote that, you know, that this movie is like 5 minutes in, and it's already like more progressive than, say,
The kissing booth?
The Kissing Booth or any of these other movies where he's like, where she's a tomboy during
A
this
Sam
film.
boy.
It's-
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
early on, and yet she still like believes in, you know, princesses and fairy tales
Yeah.
and whatnot. But he's like, hey, it's cool to do that, and also, you don't have to worry about princes if you don't want to. So it's like, your choice, your body,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
That's exactly what it said. Like it flashed on.
It did, yeah.
I think a lot of movies in the past get like a lot of like bad reps for not being feminist enough. But like if you really look into it, like I feel like a lot of the good movies that everyone does love
That
does
we remember.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like,
ones that we remember.
Yeah, and like I know I took a note about this. Like the movie, like it was really about her believing in herself, and then she does get the guy, but he like gets her after she found herself. Like she doesn't need him. Like she's just happy at like her end, like finding who she is and being happy herself. She doesn't need a guy. It just happens. Then she notices him like run into her, and she's like, "I'll take it,
yeah,
whatever."
I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll talk about it in a bit. But yes, to jump on that, it's
Yeah.
like she is happy with herself at the end. She's like, I'm confident. And then she just so happens to get the guy.
Yeah.
But she really like found herself.
Which I think a lot of good rom-coms have in common, which I like to think at least, but I like to be positive.
Yes, but if only you cut around all of the awful ones.
Speaking of positive, we get to the point in the montage where her dad dies.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
Incredible.
Yeah,
that
it
was,
was so
where
fucking
did that
sad.
come from?
Yeah,
There
the
was
Northridge earthquake changed my life.
There was
like
an
the line.
earthquake.
A full
What a way to
earthquake,
go.
and he's
And
like,
he
"I'll be
died in it."
back." And there's that sad clip of like the finger reach, where it's like, "Oh," and their fingers separate, and then of course it cuts to, and he died on that day, and my life changed forever. And then "Stranger Than Your Sympathy" plays, and this soundtrack is amazing.
It's the best part of the movie.
The music was composed by Christoph Beck, who I think we all remember best for Frozen. So you've got him to thank.
But he did
for-
not compose "Stranger
Well,
Than Your
he
Sympathy."
put it all together.
Show
I
me those
suppose.
songwriting credits.
Dear Mr. Beck.
But also the movie opens on "This Will Be," right? and an everlasting love, which is like
This
recipe
will be.
for a good movie.
Yeah.
Parent Trap.
Or like trying to
That's
be a
what-
good movie.
Yeah, Aisha said. Aisha, who was our roommate, who, to anyone listening,
Wants to be on this podcast.
is not
bucket
here.
drop.
She'll be on eventually. Yeah, she was telling me before I watched. She was like, it starts with, and she sang the song. She's like, it's from The Parent Trap, and I was kind of like, okay, go back to your room.
There's like drama about that though because of Chad Michael Murray and the whole Lindsay Lohan and Hillary Duff. If you guys want to get into backstories of that stuff, you can do that.
They were all dating, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
There
God,
was
I forgot.
This is like
Like
that.
a
Like
throuple?
you guys don't get
No.
it. Like between
My
these scenes, created the Lindsay Lohan crazy one that like did drugs and everything, the Hillary Duff good girl style.
So who was dating who first?
Okay, I'm sorry I have to do this, but
No,
I'm gonna
it's
give you a little
fine.
history
This is
lesson,
important
okay,
that we
guys?
do this.
So, Lizzie McGuire happened, and Aaron
Sure.
Carter and Lizzie McGuire kissed on it. You all
Yes.
remember that scene? You
Yes,
all remember
yes,
that
the Christmas
scene.
one, the mistletoe.
Forgot about Aaron Carter.
You can't forget about him. Great new album.
Aaron, come on in.
It's Aaron. My
buddy, I
theme,
forgot about you.
my theme for my 25th birthday is gonna be Aaron's party. Come get it. So get ready, guys. Get ready. But anyway, so they kissed. They started dating. Little does Hilary know that he's also dating Lindsay Lohan. Okay, at the same time.
Wait, really?
This is literally accurate. Like you have to listen because it goes to Cinderella Story. Pinky promise. Okay, so they're all dating, and then like Aaron picks Hilary over Lindsay. I know, surprise! I would pick Lindsay over Hilary every time. I swear to God.
Oh,
I
I'd pick Hillary. Oh, but I don't know because this is early 2000s Lindsay.
Exactly,
She was like,
and she's like a sex muffin at that age. She's like trying to be wild, but she's not. I don't know. I like the bad girl over the good girl.
Edward's
I really
looking
do.
at
I don't
you
know if we can say
upset.
sex muffin about children, but
Please, I was young at that age. I was like, "You're a sex muffin, Lindsay Lohan."
Yeah, it's like relative to your own age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
all right,
I'm not
okay,
taking it
okay.
like to a 17. I was young too, but I saw it with those fake boobs she got. Anyway, so Lindsay Lohan does Freaky Friday with Chad Michael Murray. Okay,
Yes.
they film it. Then at this time, Hilary and Lindsay hate each other. So the premiere for Freaky Friday comes, and Chad brings Hillary Duff because he wants to promote a Cinderella Story, which he's filming at that time.
Oh, no.
So Lindsay gets really
CNN.
pissed off. So then a Cinderella Story premieres. Then the next movie that comes out after that is A Cheaper by the Dozen. Lindsay Lohan shows up without invitation, without knowing anyone, and takes the whole night by storm. Looks way better than Hillary. It's a huge drama-filled thing, and thus starts the hate between them all, like the mega hate. And they go on radio stations to talk shit about it, and all starts because Aaron freaking Carter.
wow.
And
Aaron, do you have anything to say?
oh hey man,
I want candy. That's all he sings to it. That's all he wants.
That's all I
And
wanted.
it was
It
about
was
a girl.
amazing.
It wasn't about candy at all. I was very disappointed.
It was amazing. It's like
About a girl named Candy. I was like, ooh, I also like candy.
Yeah, me too as a kid.
it was such a good song.
I was like,
love
this
it.
song's just about liking sweets. And my mom in the front seat was like, no, candy is short for Candace. It's a woman. And I was like, no, it's not. And she was like, and this isn't even his song. He covered it. And I was like,
Wait, what?
what?
What? Is that an Aaron Carter original?
No, that's like an old song.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I know you're lying. I know you
It's
are.
an old.
so
It's in
cool.
the Great American Songbook. It's an old. It's an
by
old
Aaron
standard.
Carter. Yeah, it's from the
It's a
1990s. That's
Hammerstein.
old. Listen, Santa Claus is real, and Aaron Carter wrote that song, and that's that.
Yeah, remember the Aaron Carter episode of Lizzie McGuire? It was the Christmas episode.
That's literally what we were just talking about. You daft moron.
Wait,
They're in
I
love,
guess I
everybody.
missed the beginning of this.
Yeah,
We
I-
literally
to be
just
fair,
talked about this.
I missed the Aaron Carter bit, so I was just nodding along.
I guess I didn't put the math together.
We were literally talking about the kissing under the mistletoe in the Christmas episode of Lizzie McGuire. I can't with you.
Man, I wonder if Lindsay Lohan and Hillary Duff got along after everything. Anyway, what were we
She
talking
felt
about?
jealous about it
All
all.
right. The women are going to run this episode.
Yeah. They're just here for like diversity. That's
Hey,
it.
Edward, want to smell each other's farts?
Yeah.
So getting back into it, so of course her world has changed, and
the worse.
now Jennifer Coolidge gets everything because her father, was young and didn't have a will. So in this, there's like a montage of her like moving from her bedroom to like the attic, which like
To a bigger
Incredible.
The
bedroom.
bedroom, and also why? What do you need
Yeah.
another bedroom for, Jennifer?
yeah, why
Coolidge?
did she need to move
Her
out? There were
clothes,
plenty of
probably.
rooms in the house.
It's a large house.
Yeah.
And also,
And one less person occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Oh
say
God!
from the death.
On account of the death.
Well, wait. I was gonna say something else, but now my question is, how did he die? That house is fine.
Oh yeah.
And she was fine.
Yeah,
Like, the
I'm all shook up.
Was it like
He
a
just got shook too hard.
Well, I guess they fixed
Land of the
it.
Lost like crack opened up thing and then the crack closed?
Oh no, yeah, the house was fine.
Yeah.
He's like the Wicked Witch of the West underneath the house with his feet sitting out, and like we just had like a little shrine.
Look, guys,
for
we're
him.
never gonna get an answer. So
Sorry.
there's no real point.
When you guys
dissecting
become
it.
famous, you better call these writers and put them on as guest stars and be like, tell us what
Mark.
happened. What's going on?
So we cut to modern day. Hillary Duff, Sam, is a teenage woman, and she's like asleep, and you hear Jennifer Coolidge's voice just screaming, "Sam, it's time for breakfast!" And I'm so excited.
Wait, no, say the full line because it's one of my favorites in the movie.
Bring me my breakfast.
She says, "Sam, it's breakfast time. So bring me my breakfast."
Yes.
Insanely funny.
Baby.
So funny.
So good.
So we already have the dynamic. She is basically the servant of the house. She comes out. She brings Jennifer Coolidge her breakfast. And her daughters are just like in the pool.
They're doing
Yeah.
synchronized. Well, they're practicing synchronized-esque swimming.
The two of
Olympic
them-
champions.
I wrote down that it seems like they were exposed to like a lot of glue as children. The sisters are like brain dead the entire time. They're not. It's not even that they're like jerks because they are, but they're like.
But not like the other bullies in the movie who are real jerks.
Yeah.
These are just like
Dopes.
dopes.
They
Yeah.
want to be cool, but they can't because
Right.
they're actually idiots.
And
They're,
their
like,
constant
sloths.
color coordinating outfits. Like
Amazing.
I
Those are
live.
Yeah.
I truly live. Like they're like monogram necklaces and they're like juicy velour sweatsuits in the same colors all the time.
Ugh, I love it.
Mwah, costume design.
The tall stepsister was in The Nanny. She was Gracie. And when I found out that she was in the show, I went nuts because I was so happy she got something post Nanny because you never see her again.
Oh.
And that's my favorite thing about rom-coms. They always have that one childhood actress that did something but didn't do anything else again. They recast them because
And
they
then
want
they
to
play
make a
like
comeback.
a B plot character.
Yeah. And they
See-
never do anything else again.
I wrote that I think I have seen her recently.
She was in Twin Peaks also.
No. I
recently.
know she was in Twin Peaks. I think like at a place.
Oh, like you've seen her in person?
I don't know. In a show, in like maybe a play, or even like at a party. I
You party with one of the Nanny characters?
probably not. Well, I don't know.
That's so cool.
I just feel like I saw her very recently.
It was a sex dream, I'm sure you had.
It was a sex dream that I
Yeah.
had.
Vivid sex- you watching
Madeline,
this?
I'm sorry.
I'm sure she enjoyed it. I hope she enjoyed your dream.
She did not.
So we go outside. Jennifer Coolidge is lounging by the pool. The sprinklers are on, and they make a point right away that Sam, Hillary Duff, is like, we're in a drought. We're not supposed to have these sprinklers on. And she says, droughts are for poor people.
Do you think J-Lo has a brown lawn? She continues.
2 10 out of 10 lines from Jennifer Coolidge to start the film.
Oh,
Can we
she's
say
so
it?
Good.
I would want to be my mom. I don't care that I'm her servant. Like, I'd be like, that's a good line,
If
Mom.
she's giving me all those quips all
Yeah.
the time.
Or like
That's
live
fair, yeah.
tweet
Yeah.
my
oh,
mom.
yeah.
Oh, I would be viral now with all these stuff. I'm like, yeah, she's hurting my feelings, but like people like me, so it's okay.
She's taking away my dreams, but it's funny.
Yeah, I can enjoy it.
She also has one of my favorite scenes that I remembered, and I haven't seen the movie in years, but she's reading this book about like the benefits of a salmon diet, like
Oh,
an
yeah.
all salmon diet.
Yes.
And so she's screaming, I need my omega-3, Sam. Bring me my salmon.
I have notes about that like it's super funny and so specific. I don't understand why.
No. There's comedy in specific.
Yeah.
Like
Honestly, the writers made a big choice. We just have to back it
I
up.
feel like maybe they cast Jennifer Coolidge and they were like, all right, cool, we can write any words and she'll make it
She'll
really
nail it.
She'll
Oh.
nail it. And she does.
and she
Every
does.
time.
So we go to the diner that was once Hal's diner, and
Now
now
it's Fiona's.
it's Fiona's diner. It's all painted pink, and
Just
all
like the
the
salmon.
yes, all the interior is different. And the chef is talking about how he's adding all this salmon to the menu, which is disgusting.
They're like, you made salmon pancakes,
Oh,
salmon omelets.
Salmon waffles.
Yep.
You know, she was like ahead of her time because now avocados are a thing. Like, really, Fiona was like, no, let's do salmon before
Those
avocado.
fatty acids.
Yes, she
Mm,
knew it.
yes.
What a trendsetter.
This is really unimportant, but it mattered a lot to me. I gotta stop burping. So one of the throwaway characters, orders his regular, which is a cheese omelet. He orders his regular, which is a cheese omelet with extra bacon, crispy, and a blueberry muffin. And I salivated as they read that off. I said to myself, God help me if I don't end up at a diner within the next few days. So this movie is like supersize me. Or just makes you hungry.
It helps you local economy.
I really wanted diner food after just that
I love
scene.
a diner.
And that's a me problem. I'm not saying that was the movie's intention.
Did you write down what the guy says after that?
He says he wants a Diet Coke because he's watching his weight. And Regina George's Rhonda says... Regina... Yes. Weird meta thing for a movie that came out the same year. Regina King's Rhonda says, it's not going anywhere. Hysterical.
The way Zach just looked at me, he's like, look at me, I'm being serious. Hysterical.
Alina, everybody leave.
Why aren't you laughing, Alina?
So the reason we even cut to the diner at all is that Hilary Duff has to work there even before school, which must be 5 a.m.
High school started at my first class was 7:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think ours was
Mine was 7:20.
If you're listening, Hendrick Hudson High School, too early. Let them come in later. It's dumb.
They're playing this at your alumni night or whatever.
I'm like, excuse
Shut
me,
up.
everyone. They're like, get off the mic. I'm like, I just got to say one thing.
One more thing.
Make the days shorter or start them later.
All right, bye everyone.
So Hilary Duff is working at the diner, and Regina King, who plays one of the waitresses named Rhonda, is furious that she's there. Jennifer Coolidge keeps making Hilary Duff work in the diner at all hours, even though she should be studying because she wants to go to Princeton really badly, which is a thing that her dad, I guess, put in her young mind because she was like, Daddy, where do princesses go to college? She said, Princeton, which is adorable. So she's had this dream forever to go to Princeton. Yeah. She really wants to study and get in. But Jennifer Coolidge keeps making her work at this diner, much to Rhonda's dismay, who sends her back home to change and get ready for school. And she picks up her best friend. What's his name?
Connor?
Carter.
Carter.
Dan Bird.
Dan Bird?
I love Dan Bird. And I forgot how much I loved him until he showed up on screen.
Did you scream?
I was like, Dan Bird! I'm such a fan. I mean that sincerely. Aliens in America lasted one season on what was WB11, now the CW. So funny. Easy A, he was great. 2006, Alexandra Aja's remake of The Hills Have Eyes. We can do the entire episode of Hills Have Eyes if you guys want to.
I wrote some notes, actually.
Terrifying, well-made, incredible makeup.
I think I remember the trailer.
So scary, and he is so good in it. Dan Bird, I love you.
American icon, Zach's favorite.
Or is he the ice?
Hey, everyone, it's me, The Hills.
It's me, The Hills. All right, bye.
Weird choice, but it works.
So, are you still going?
No, I'm done.
So, Andrew Bird, is that his name?
No, he is a famous violin player.
Oh, wait, what's his name?
Dan Bird.
Dan Bird.
Carter.
Carter. Andrew Bird? Nope.
Dan Bird.
Dan
Daniel
Bird.
If you say his name again, we have to play a full violin song. It's the law, so please don't.
Dan Bird, a.k.a. Carter, hops into Hilary Duff's car. He's real upset because he can't take any of his really fancy cars that he's apparently totaled numerous times. And he comes out dressed in fresh red Kangol hat and a head to toe red rapper outfit, and he's like, this is my Snoop Dizzle look, because apparently a defining character trait of this person is that he's an actor, so likes to do method stuff and dress as his character.
I wouldn't call it a defining character trait because they bring it up once.
Yeah.
Forget about it the rest of the film until the very end.
Okay. I forgot that he was an
actor,
quote unquote an actor.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it's LA though.
Well, why did that thing at the end happen? And also why was he dressed weird?
Numerous times throughout the movie, he's in a weird outfit.
Yeah.
And you just
Zorro.
Yeah, you're just this is his new thing. But I'm like, how often is he getting new projects? What role was it that he had to play a rapper? Amazing. And then a cowboy within the span of
work for being a high school junior.
a few weeks that he's doing this method acting.
Yeah, he was really nailing it.
So I'm super into their friendship, and we just watched the Kissing Booth, where the whole I idea was that these were two best friends, a guy and a girl. And it was the worst. It was like a terrible depiction of a male-female best friendship. And there was a constant underlying will they, won't they that shouldn't have been there. And this it was just like a great friendship. And I love this character. And that's all. I'm so happy this existed and that it was in front of me the whole time and I didn't even know.
Yeah, the beginning, because I haven't seen this movie in a while, I was like, well, maybe they'll get together at the end. But then like 2 minutes passed and I was like, no, they're just
legitimately
very
friends.
good friends.
So we get to school, and I think we hear an announcement about a Halloween homecoming dance that Haley Williams gives.
Great theme.
Yeah, so there's this announcer on the morning news at school, and she's Haley Williams. It's not the real. It's not the real
don't
Haley
do
Williams.
that. I flipped out.
No, she's just like a punk girl.
She's a punk, brightly colored scene kid.
Not all punk girls are Haley Williams.
You can't prove that.
It's a square rectangle sort of thing, but all squares are Haley Williams.
So we know there's this Halloween homecoming dance. And what else? What am I missing?
So we see Hillary Duff having conversations online with a sort of secret admirer named Nomad. I think his name is Nomad 69.
Nomad 609, because I was almost like, haha.
I was like, yeah, sick. But
it's the zip code for the Princeton area code.
Oh, yeah.
And then hers is the zip code for something else. I forgot what hers is for.
Wait,
the
is
zip
that
code.
true? I
Yeah,
thought hers
that's
was
IMDb.
just like Princeton girl.
Yeah, but the number that she has is the zip code for LA, where the school is, and then his zip code's Princeton because he wants to go there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they talk,
Whoa.
and you hear his narration, and it's like before I realized that it was Chad Michael Murray, I legit thought it sounded like the killer from Scream. Like narrate.
Which one?
Like, you know, like in any of them, they use the voice change to make whoever's voice sound like it. So it's always like, are you alone? What horror movies? So like she's saying something and she's like, I'm laughing. She's like, LOL in her Hillary Duff narration. Then you hear him say, I want to hear your laugh. And I expected it to then be like, but I guess I'll have to settle for your scream. And he pops out of a closet and is the killer from Scream.
It's Scream 4, actually.
But he's like texting at the same time. He's like, can't wait to see you right now.
So we find
If you hang up on me, I'll
Oh
cut
my
your
God.
fucking guts out.
I want to see that movie. Another Scream
Cinderella
story. Incredible.
Cinderella went to the ball, and there she had a great fall.
The Scream
Cindy.
we needed. Scream 4 we needed, but we didn't get. Oh, I wish.
I know, right? Scream 5 is just like a weird meta retelling of
Yeah.
Cinderella Story. Yeah.
Even though I still liked it.
So we get to like the meat and potatoes of the movie, which is she has like a secret admirer who like they text and they exchange emails all the time, and they met in a
Flip phone, by the way.
Princeton.
Flip phone. I just want to say it was a flip phone, and I love flip
Oh,
phones.
flip phone! Yes,
Love seeing a flip phone. It
amazing.
was so cool. I
Because it
wanted
makes it
one.
seem like they text quickly, but you know that they're like beep, beep, beep.
Oh,
beep,
and
beep,
those
beep.
are
Thought
long
into
messages too.
Yeah.
So that takes.
You always
Yeah.
had, because you always had, you got to your letter and then you had to wait for it to settle. It would have like the colored bar on it, and then you would wait for that to go away, and then you could go to the
it
next
settled.
letter.
There was
That's
like a
how you know
delay.
she liked
Yeah.
him. She was willing to have patience.
Yeah, she was
Like,
Yeah.
willing to
night.
be like, you want me to write you all of Hunchback of Notre Dame?
I got you.
All right. That sounds like a nice little break point for all you puppies out there. We'll be right back with more of the Meet Cute.
So they're messaging each other constantly. They met in like a, I guess like Princeton. What do you call that?
Room, I think?
Yeah, it was a Princeton chat room for people who prospective students.
Yeah.
And they just started exchanging emails and texts, I guess, and they found out they go to the same school, but they're like trying to figure out when they could meet and figure out like
Between class. Like,
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Between biology, math, like lunchtime.
Hey, you're on the computer sometimes? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're in person now.
They literally type near each other at one point.
They're
always near each other.
One of them was across the desk from the other while they were typing.
I loved it.
Oh,
on
yeah.
computers. Yeah.
Yeah. So we find out in like very quickly that the person she's talking to is Chad Michael Murray, aka Austin Ames, and he's like the
Aim it over
coolest
here.
guy in school. He's the football captain, and Hillary Duff is just a girl who works at a diner.
They call her Diner Girl, which is a very lazy nickname and not really an insult.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
call her Diner Girl.
Yeah, like Chad Michael Murray works at a car
Car
wash.
wash.
Yeah.
They call him Car Wash Man. Boy.
Whoa.
He's not a man yet.
Also,
He's a boy.
I'm assuming she's making some money. So like,
she's rolling.
yeah, how dare they
Yeah.
insult her? For
And
good
she
work?
could bring food to parties. Like, hey, I'm gonna invite you to a party. Can you bring something from the diner? Totally. Wow, that was fun. Your party's catered
and
already.
she's super
Oh, there you
nice
go.
and cool. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Look.
I would have
So at this point, I'm wondering, well, like, why are they waiting to meet? Why are they playing this guessing game? I think
'Cause
it'll
it's
be
a
pretty
movie.
easy to figure out. But then Hillary Duff says in like as they're texting and emailing, she's like, our school has over 3,500 kids. I'm like,
that is almost as much as my college.
that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And then while I think this movie holds up, there are some things that are just so dated. Like he asks, you're not a guy, right? Because if you are, I'll kick your butt. Which is like,
Oh yeah, that was great.
gay. Oh,
And
no.
she says, I am not a guy.
Like that would be ridiculous.
As she sends nudes, like here's proof. No big deal. Well, they didn't want to do Catfish yet. Catfish wasn't ready to happen yet. MTV was like, no, we have
Well,
to hold
it would be a salmon. So
Yeah.
That was iconic.
I think they just ordered too much salmon for like craft services. And
Yeah.
they're like, we gotta
Yeah.
just put this
we
in the
gotta put it
movies.
in there.
Also, why would they not tell each other their names as soon as they started? I know that ruins like the entire film,
Yeah.
but like I remember when I was going into college, there was like Facebook groups or whatever where you could like talk to people
Yeah.
who might be going to school with you.
Pre-Facebook, though, you have to remember that. This was
That's true.
pre-Facebook.
But we would like right away be like, hey, I'm Haley, if it were like a chat room.
yeah,
They were just really keeping
you're like,
the
hey,
mystery.
I'm Princeton girl. Hey, I'm Nomad or whatever. Like that's crazy.
yeah. Well, I never had AIM or AIM. I don't know what the kids call it. So
What?
did you
Why
did you
not?
ever refer to yourself as like, hey, I'm
Well-
poop butt 420 or
No, I said
I do
my
that
name.
now.
You do
but-
that now, right? But at parties. And
Well, because I didn't talk to strangers on Instant Messenger. I only
I'm
talked to
sorry
like
that you
my
didn't
friends.
have Omegle. What was that? Chat roulette?
Oh,
Omegle.
Chat
Omegle.
roulette and Omegle.
That was
Yeah.
a weird thing Zach did.
I-
He would
well-
always look at guys' penises.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I love
Those
that
are
though.
other websites.
First of all,
okay?
I don't know in what world you're saying always. At a sleepover, like once we went on that with me and a group of friends, and yeah,
Typical
people,
too. Everyone
typical,
does it.
everyone
Everyone
did
does
that.
it. Yeah.
You're,
I
you have a
didn't.
freshman year of high
Okay,
school
Haley.
sleepover. You do that. I wasn't in my room alone, being like, "Let's see who I got on Omegle
Yeah.
today." Please don't paint me in that light. I do a lot of weird stuff, but that's not one of them, Haley.
Also, this movie made me go into chat rooms thinking I'll find love. So I almost was molested and
Although,
kidnapped
no.
because of this
yeah,
movie.
I think maybe because this was back when the internet was like, it had two websites
Yes.
and nobody knew how it worked. There were still those like episodes of sitcoms where they're like, I'm trying to plug my DVD player in and I couldn't do it. So maybe
Were
they
you in a
didn't.
TV show? Because
I
I
was
know
in a
that's a
TV show.
lie.
Yeah. I was in According to Jim.
A great show, by the way.
According to James. It was based off the BBC series. According to James.
According to Jimothy.
By the word of James. Daughter, have you made my blood sausage this morning?
Oh my
Of course,
god.
Papa. The audience laughs like, why is that funny?
I guess
British
she
humor.
did, yeah.
It looks good.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I guess.
I didn't say anything. Oh, he
No, I
was
meant Edward. I was just hitting you.
hitting me.
Well, just like maybe that's why they didn't give out names because maybe they were like, well, who could this be? A serial killer
Yeah.
in Russia or something?
Or worse,
weird?
a guy.
But
guy.
yeah, I
I'll
still
kick
will
your
tell
butt.
them all my secrets, though. Like, I don't know who you are. I'm scared you might kill me, but hey, I'm living an awful life. Let me vent to you.
I'm super depressed.
Yeah.
So let's go into like Chad Michael Murray's whole thing.
CM
like
squared.
CM squared. Is that he's
name.
talking to her and they were like kind of falling on love over line, and he keeps sending her poems because his whole backstory is that he wants to be a writer. He wants to be a poet.
No, he doesn't.
He does, and he wants to go to Princeton, and his dad just wants him to go to USC football, and it's a big issue between them. So that's why he's super sad.
Casted a spell on us and is left waiting for the results.
They're talking about our cat.
Zach is so. I've never seen Zach look at Haley as he looks at Pars.
I know.
It's like so sad. Like
You
the whole
never will.
podcast, Pars would be walking around and he'll be like staring. It's so adorable. And Haley's like just giving some great insight. She's being so beautiful and so
Oh,
great.
thank you.
Zach is still not looking at her like any way, shape,
No.
or form.
He doesn't appreciate me anymore. I'm truly undervalued.
You really are.
Haley, can I read one of the poems?
Please.
that,
Oh my God,
you have it?
wrote? Yeah, because I watch them with captions on because I like to read.
I'm gonna snap afterwards.
Half the night I waste in sighs. In a wakeful doze, I sorrow for the hand, ... for the hand, ... the lips, ... the eyes, ... for the meeting of tomorrow.
May
What?
I read it as the killer from Scream?
For the eyes.
That's amazing. That was a bad poem. Did anyone fall in love with him?
I mean, I already was, so.
It's like a Princeton girl has logged out.
Oh my
A
God.
poem I would have wanted is like roses are red, violets are blue. I'm buying Chipotle just for you.
Aw,
that
would get you.
I would have been like, let's go, baby, let's go.
Oh, just for context, Alina is riding our couch right now.
Yes.
It's a new
I
couch.
was
You're going to
ready.
break that couch.
I like the underrated adult humor when because they cross paths a few times, Hillary Duff and Chad Michael Murray,
yeah.
and at
She
one
goes
point,
in the locker. That's iconic.
at one point she goes to his car wash where he works, and he's like, "You need a wax," and she goes, "Excuse me." Another just like a moment is when I guess Hillary Duff asks someone where Jennifer Coolidge is, and the stepsisters respond, "She's home baking," and it cut to she's in a tanning bed. A+ comedy.
Wait a minute. I didn't
Great
even catch
editing.
that. That's
Oh, yeah.
good. Ooh,
A+
that's good.
comedy. I was cracking up. Also, Jennifer Coolidge calls Rhonda, the diner woman, Betty Crocker from The Hood at one point, which is like, oh, we get into light racism in this film.
Just some
That's a
white
really
racism.
cool nickname. Like, you know how like on Twitter you can like change your name or whatever?
Are you going to be Betty Crocker in the...
Betty Crocker from The
I
Hood.
might, but I'm not hood enough. I'll probably put a hoodie on, so like I
Yeah,
look
yeah,
cooler.
yeah.
Yeah. But that was a great one.
So, Hillary Duff and Chad Michael Murray, as Nomad and Princeton Girl, decide to go to the Halloween homecoming dance together, and they're going to meet
Sorta.
for the first time there.
At
That's the
like,
plan.
What, 11 in the middle of the dance
Isn't it
floor?
midnight?
Yeah.
It's 11:40 or is it 11:45?
I don't know the
Probably
exact
11.
time.
I
because you
think
need more time. You have to like talk, be like, "That's you, that's you." Okay, now let's walk slowly to get to know each other, not hold
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Coolidge is not going to let Hillary Duff go.
Of course
For
not.
some reason.
Because
Working. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Hillary
Cinderella.
Duff is, she doesn't want a baby around the house. Okay, she's the one who get knocked up and have to take care of a baby and the
I
sisters
do
and
not
the
think
mom.
she's really concerned
I don't
about
think
that.
that's the...
The
I don't think
sisters
that's
have the
concerned.
combined intelligence of a baby, so I think she's already got her hands full.
So then Rhonda is like, absolutely not. You are going to this dance, girl, and you're going to meet this cute boy, and we're going to do a full 20-minute montage of trying
A
on
very
different
long
costumes.
montage.
It was
Why
so
does this
good.
small town have a Halloween store, like a dedicated Halloween store?
I had Party City.
Yeah,
This
but
was like a
all the
one-man
time.
shop. This was like Bill's Halloween shop.
The worst part is they do that. She doesn't even get anything. She like ends up wearing Rhonda's dress. We're like, we go here.
Also, Rhonda, in order for the guy, he's about to close his Halloween shop. They get there, and she's like, if you let me in, I'll give you free breakfast for a week. And he goes, make it a month. And she agrees. That is my dream.
That is a dream, but that is also like...
Stealing.
She's an employee. She's not
Yeah.
the boss. And
And
she can't
yeah.
decide that.
Sneak him cold eggs.
Yeah.
Get in trouble.
Salmon, really. She's like, I got salmon for you, bro. I got you. We
Yeah,
didn't
I
say
don't want
what it
breakfast.
was. We had like a pick menu, basically. Trash.
Yeah, a
yes,
price
see?
fix menu.
Oh, I
So
love it.
eventually they settle on this tiara they found, and
That's it. That's all they get from it.
That's
And
all
a
they
mask.
find,
And
and a
a-
mask.
yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant. They find this mask, and Rhonda's like, "I've got it, by George, I've got it!"
She says those lines.
And they don't have anything to match the mask at the store, but she has an old wedding dress lying around because this is a woman who I guess buys wedding dresses and hopes someone will marry her
No.
one day.
She said, oh gosh, did I write it down?
Said from one
I
of
was
my
saving
old-
this dress for my next attempt down the aisle. So
Oh, so she gets married a lot.
Well, maybe she
a
was
lovable
married
woman.
at one point and is no longer. My question is, though,
Sure.
not being someone who will ever wear a wedding dress.
Hey, don't put that on you.
I know. I keep hoping. Always the bridesmaid, never the guy who's wearing the wedding dress. My question is, aren't those, fitted for one specific person?
You buy a size and then you go in for a fitting and then they tailor it so it looks like specifically good on you.
Right.
She could have a corset though and tie it. Very
Okay.
princessy.
I was just wondering, because they're not the same size. So how did this fit perfectly without any sort of tailoring?
I'll give you 3 words.
Okay, please.
Bippity, boppity, boo.
Yes.
Magic.
A Cinderella Story.
Yeah.
The
That's
end.
You know what?
Just kidding.
You get
I
it?
accept that.
Yeah.
I accept it.
That's definitely how it works.
So Hillary Duff is Cinderella. That's the idea. She's going as a masked
Hence the
Cinderella to
title.
the dance, and hence a Cinderella story. She goes to the dance in the car with her best friend Carter, who's dressed as Zorro. Hillary Duff is wearing like a cape over this. She's so embarrassed to be dressed all pretty, but then
Aren't we
she
all?
takes it off and starts walking down the stairs, and of course everyone in the whole room turns and looks at her walk down the stairs into the dance, and the spotlight goes on her, and Carter just looks at her like, "Aw, that's my friend." And I was like, this is the movie could end here and I'd
Yeah.
be okay because of that cute friendship moment where she's like, "Oh, my friend looks pretty." Anyway, but she comes down the stairs and eventually meets Chad Michael Murray. Yes.
They have a moment where they look, right?
Oh, we have to point out that she has to be back at the diner by midnight.
Because Jennifer Coolidge thinks she's going to be working
she's
there.
Gonna be working, and so Dan Bird / Carter sets an alarm on Hillary Duff's cell phone and sticks it in her shoe, like
Classic.
a strap on
That's
the
how
shoe,
I do
so
it.
she's not like walking on the cell phone. So at like 11:45, that alarm is going to go off, and she'll have to rush home or rush back to the diner before midnight.
In the pumpkin.
Cinderella Story.
So they meet and the mask never comes off, which
Of course not.
this is where you need the like wheeling suspension of disbelief that he doesn't recognize her with that tiny lace mask on.
Well, she always wears a hat that covers her eyes. She's
Yeah.
covering her eyes
3,500 people.
here. Yeah.
That's
3,500
true, but he's like been a customer at her diner before.
Yeah, they've spoken before recently. In fact,
Like,
But he
recently in the film.
Listen, I mean, he didn't know. I trust he didn't know because he wasn't looking for it. You know, I feel like when you're on the lookout for a girl, but he was like, this is diner girl. I just want some pancakes and applesauce, man. I'm not here looking for a woman.
Now, what I like to note is that so they talk and they really get along and stuff, but then they go to get some punch and it's like a blue punch, what I imagine would be like a really gross, like blue raspberry something.
No.
yeah.
And then you assume that they're gonna like kiss later, and their breath is just gonna be like disgusting.
And their
Jolly
tongues are gonna
Rancher.
be like,
Ew,
Yeah.
it's high school though.
I
Yeah.
disagree. Zach, the blue Kool-Aid's the best Kool-Aid out of all the Kool-Aids.
But what flavor is it?
It's blue tropical. I used to get
Well,
all
what
the time.
flavor is it?
Blue tropical. What are you talking about?
It's blue flavor.
It's blue tropical with a lot of extra sugar diabetes in it. Whoa. I would
yum.
make out with anyone that had that breath.
Do dances like serve punch like that?
I never had punch at my dance.
I was
Yeah.
never invited, so
Aw.
To school
to
dances?
school dance. They
Everyone
made
else
the
was.
announcement, but they made me plug my ears.
So they really are liking each other. They go out and take a walk, and they go into this beautiful gazebo that's all lit up. And Chad Michael Murray's like, "Do you want to dance?" She's like, "But there's no music." And he's like, "So?"
I love
And
that.
then a little quartet out of nowhere starts playing, and they dance, and it's romantic. And then I'll be
And
your
John
crying
Mayer
shoulder.
blasts,
That's
baby.
not John Mayer.
Well, then who is it?
I'll be is not.
I thought that was John
I
Mayer.
Shazammed it because I was like, is this
I love that
Lifehouse?
song.
No, it's not
I
Lifehouse.
thought it was Lifehouse.
No.
Oh, I think I have it
Well,
on my
then
phone.
cut me saying
I think it's
John
something with
Mayer.
an I.
Cut you
It's Iris or
screaming
something.
his
Iris,
name
is it
into the
Iris?
void.
No, that's
Relative
not.
Sealed is a
That's
great
Goo Goo
song.
Dolls.
It's
Goo
like
Goo Dolls. It's Goo Goo Dolls.
But it's not Iris.
No, it's not.
No,
Google. It's Edward McCain.
Edwin McCain?
What?
It's Edward McCain.
Oh, right. It was like a cover of it.
No, Edwin McCain.
Edward McCain.
Yeah.
Edward Precht.
I'll be is the Goo Goo Dolls. It literally is.
Google
No,
says so, guys.
Google Dolls says, I'll be your crying
But
shoulder.
I'll be
That's what I said.
I'll be is Edward McCain.
Well, I was singing, I'll be your crying shoulder.
Well, that's not it, Haley.
Yes,
It's
they
just-
danced to
That's the one
that.
they sing to.
Oh my god. They
Whoa.
sing to Nine Inch Nails, Came Back Haunted.
Down with
Arranged-
the sickness.
Yeah.
What were you listening
They
I didn't
danced.
do that right. It's wah.
to? All right, let's back it up. What happens?
They danced to I'll Be Your Crying Shoulder, but I have to talk about the sexual assault scene.
What?
Yes!
Oh yeah.
There's a full sexual assault scene, basically,
Wait.
where one of Chad Michael Murray's dumb football friends is like,
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah,
I think Zorro
because
saves the day.
Chad Michael Murray was supposed to be dating the hot popular girl, but he breaks
Duh.
up to go meet
From Dodgeball.
Princeton. Yes.
Really?
That's what she was in.
I looked it up
was
because I
bugging
was
me.
like,
She
boy,
dates
does
Justin
she
Long's
look
character,
familiar.
right?
Yeah.
So he's like, well, now that, he's out of the way, maybe we could get together, and starts like touching her. And she's like, no. And is like truly pushing him off of her. And he's like not giving up. So Zorro, Carter, Andrew Bird. Nope.
Dan Bird.
Dan Bird.
And now
Dan
we have to
Bird.
play a full violin song.
Dan Bird comes out of there and he said, the lady wants to be left alone. And there's this whole like 45-minute action sequence where
It's actually an
It's a
action movie,
long-
not a
The
The
rom-com.
word action is used generously here.
but there's like a long epic of just like physical comedy, and then I don't know, it's cute.
This movie does have, well, I guess a lot of like early 2000s movies did have like some slapstick like comedian elements of like Zorro fights him off,
And
It's a
saves the
happy
day.
and
central
then
song.
she whispers in Zorro's ear something,
Something.
and he smiles.
She's like,
And then they
hey.
make out. So the alarm eventually goes off. She has to run back to the diner, but she's not gonna make it. Oh my goodness.
You're not
She's
gonna
running
make
and
it.
she loses her shoe with the cell phone. She
Of
loses
course.
the cell phone.
Which, by the
Cell
way,
phone.
would cost so much now. If I lost my iPhone, I would be so pissed. Thank God we have my iPhone.
Yeah.
That was like a
strapped to
$20.
her other leg was a pocket knife.
But she lost the
like a
iPhone. That's fine.
military.
And after, again, like an hour and a half wild car chase scene, basically, where the Jennifer Coolidge and the twin sisters, are they twins?
No, but
No,
there's
they are.
stepsis- Oh, yeah, they are.
Because
They are, they're
wa-
fraternal.
One's a minute and 24
Yes.
seconds
Wow,
older,
you
or
watched
something.
this movie.
They see
I had to.
they see Sam on the street, like in the car, and she ducks, and they're like, I swear she was there. So they have like a wild car chase scene.
I love it.
And Jennifer Coolidge busts into the diner, and she's like, where's Sam? She better be here, or else you're all fired. And then she's like, ding ding, and she's behind the counter, and she just made it, and everything's okay. And you pan to her, and she's still wearing the Cinderella dress with like the apron over it.
Which I thought was funny.
thought
It's
that
going to
was
be
good.
my Halloween
Yeah.
costume this year, which I think will be
Aw.
amazing.
Speaking of costumes, before we move on to the next day, can I just say that there was a guy at the party dressed like a reserved parking spot, and I thought that was great. That's all I needed to say. He was wearing like a hat that was just like the curb part of the parking spot. And
Amazing.
it said reserved on it. That's all.
So basically, this movie deserves Oscars for acting, for like sets, and for
And for
costumes.
costumes.
and
Yeah,
background
yeah.
costumes,
Right.
all of
And
it.
music, snubs all
Oh,
around.
music is amazing.
Christoph Beck.
So we find out at some point in this that Sam gets into Princeton, and Jennifer Coolidge is not going to have it, so
love
hides her letter. That'll come back later. We go to school the next day, and Carter's asking Sam, like, girl, you gonna tell Chad Michael Murray it's you? And she's like, I'm nervous. And he's like, well, I can do it to the popular girl, because he was also masked as Zorro. It ain't no big deal. See, you won't get rejected. So he goes up to popular girl, and he's like, hey, we were making out last night. And she was like, no. And
She's like, I chugged a whole bottle of cough syrup. I don't know what I was doing.
yeah, that's like a
the
line, right?
Roseanne excuse.
Maybe that's
That's where Roseanne got it from. She was
Oh,
watching
no.
Cinderella
Yeah, she was
Story.
like, how am I going to get out of this one? Her PR team sent her a DVD of the Cinderella story. And she was like, I'll figure it out from here.
all right, thank you.
And it worked. Everyone loves her again. So there we go. Roseanne's coming back to try to
We're
you guys.
all
Breaking news, guys.
Chad Michael Murray also gets into Princeton, and the dad is not having it.
The dad who is also the football coach for the,
Of course.
the school.
Always.
That's real. That's like.
And he really
so, like-
wants him to go to USC because that's where he went. And the dad's entire personality is wanting his son to go to USC.
For football, yeah.
And
movie.
owning a business.
Yeah, he's like, USC, go Nighthawks, the whole movie.
So at this point, it's like been a few days. Why is she not worried about her phone being lost?
I don't know, but I was asking that, and then like Chad Michael Murray has the cell phone, and I guess nobody knew what cell phones should have been back then, because she was like, oh no, kind of my cell phone, and he was like, well, I have her cell phone, but it's locked, and I don't know what to do with it, so I can't figure out
And she keeps getting messages that are like, I need you to do something.
Hey, Sam, I need you to do something.
Wait.
I don't know who this is.
But if it's locked, how did he read it? I never got that. Like, how could you just
I guess
read
it like came up on like
I don't know.
previewed
I have no
text.
idea.
I don't know.
Also, couldn't you make, because you can now, couldn't you make emergency calls?
They had it in case of emergency things there,
so
too.
why didn't you, I don't know. See, this was
What was he
like,
going to do? Call and be like, hello, officer. I met a girl in a chat room online. We danced together. Now I have her phone.
well,
Chad
anyway.
Michael Murray's friends, they line up like a bunch of the girls in the school
Yeah.
to try to like convince to see like which one is Cinderella. You know, like
yeah.
when
The whole school at this point is like,
yeah.
it really wants to find out who this girl was.
And it's, a Cinderella story. It's the scene essentially where everyone's trying on the glass slipper.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like a dum-dum, literally said out loud when this scene happened, "Oh, this is Cinderella."
Are you?
That's when it hit you?
Yep.
Not when the dad died and the fairy
It's
tale
like,
lied?
I think I
And the evil
subconsciously knew it the whole
stepsisters.
time, which is, I should have because it's called a Cinderella story. But it really all clicked for me at that time where I said, oh, it's Cinderella.
You know-
It was done really well, though, when you think about it.
The
Like-
school
was.
team was called the Fighting Frogs. There were all these little tiny
Oh.
things that were alluding to it. I told you lots of things. The English Cottage, the Fighting Frogs.
That's so
there
cool.
was something else, the phone in the shoe. There was like so many little details we
I
missed
love
too.
Cliche.
This is it's unlike, say, like Easy A or like other movies that do that, where they're like, today we're gonna read, the Scarlet Letter,
I like when they
and
did
this
that.
is how this applies to your life. We're gonna
Yeah.
read,
They just,
and
like,
Emma
framed
Stone's
it.
like,
The shrew.
read it, I'm living it.
Yeah, hence my A in the
Right,
class
right.
and on my
yeah,
boob.
Yeah, so no, it did it well in that it wasn't spoon feeding us what we were supposed to,
Yeah.
Clearly it went over my head.
Clearly. So I'm just gonna skip forward for like time's sake at this point. The stepsisters, like, they know that there's this Cinderella girl and everyone wants to date Austin Ames. But one of the stepsisters finds the emails that Hillary Duff has been sending and
Amazing.
prints them all out.
She's not that stupid, y'all. She
Yeah.
just plays it on TV. She knows what she's doing.
So they print out all of their email exchanges and she knows it's her sister and brings it to the popular girls at school. And it's like, oh my God, my evil stepsister has been trying to take your boyfriend and it's her and blah, 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 blah. So they work up an evil plan to try and embarrass her.
This is what happened to Hillary Clinton, by the way. I wrote but her emails.
History repeats itself. You gotta like watch. You gotta learn.
Yeah.
It repeats itself.
So they make this big plot. There's a school announcement by Haley Williams, the punk girl, who says like, Cinderella, if you're out there, your prince wants to meet you after the pep rally today. So cut to the pep rally. And the pep rally just turns out to be like a really mean skit reenacting.
Well done skit.
Oh, very well.
They,
High
like,
quality
rehearsed
entertainment.
it. They, I think there were costumes.
There were.
I love that.
This
Like
was,
very
a
good,
day.
like
It took,
commedia
like, a
dell'arte
day. Yeah,
acting.
They should go to Juilliard. They should have sent that in and gone to Juilliard.
They should have.
But
Too dumb to do
they're
anything
too
else.
lazy, so that's what happens.
I wrote that nobody does true sadness better than Hillary Duff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like
Because-
true.
but it's true. Like I
Yeah.
remember in Lizzie McGuire too, there'd be scenes where she was like so like convincing to be like this is someone
To be
at that
teenage
age
girl
living
sad.
that life.
Yeah.
This is what they look like when they're truly
Yeah.
sad and
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
Like, she nails it.
So in
She
the
can't do that
skit,
anymore.
they call out that Hillary Duff, Diner Girl, is the person.
I wrote they all start chanting Diner Girl, and I wrote that chant broke me.
Aww.
I was like, holy
No, because she
Lord.
is like such a sad teenage
It's
girl in that
so
moment.
sad.
It is so heartbreaking.
It's crazy because like I didn't feel really sad for like when she was like, I mean obviously I felt kind of sad for like when she has like an evil stepmom, she's working so much whatever, but I was like no, like she's gonna get the happy ending, but that moment the kids did at the height, like that's just so more hurtful.
so horrible.
It was so good.
And they also reveal that Chad Michael Murray wants to go to Princeton and be a poet, and to which his dad in the audience was like, "Any truth in this, son?" Like that's the most devastating news that your
I
son
thought
wants
you
to go to an
bled
Ivy League
USC.
school. Like
He just
Princeton's
knows-
a better school.
Yeah.
That's like you should be proud of that. Like most definitely. It's like he's going to community college, even though I do, so I don't want to like knock it, but like it's like this like a good thing. It's really good.
So she gets home crying after her terrible day, and then Jennifer Coolidge comes in with a fake rejection
Yes.
letter from Princeton.
So she comes in with a plate of cookies and the fake rejection letter. I thought originally that she came in with a rejection letter on a plate. And I thought, how dare you do such a bad thing with so much elegance?
But instead, she gives the rejection letter and then says, like, oh, but look on the bright side. You'll work at the diner for the rest of life. You want a cookie? They're so moist. As Jennifer Coolidge is shoving her face with cookies, and it is comedy.
Did she win an Oscar for this?
She won 2.
So. Yeah,
Next year, the same year, they're like, we gotta give it to her again. Same role.
We gotta do a second emergency Oscars.
We go back to the diner. Sam is there working and she's sad and she's like accepting the fact that she's just diner girl. And then the like old decoration falls off and she sees something her dad had said, which was, does anyone know what it is?
I think
Fuck
that's
the pole.
It's the Babe Ruth line. It's like
It's the
never
Babe
fear.
Ruth line.
It's like
Yeah.
never fear of like striking out or
yeah,
something.
like don't have the fear of striking out, blah, blah, blah. It just basically like
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
a
yeah.
baseball
Gretzky,
version.
Michael Scott.
Yeah.
But a baseball version of that. And then Hillary Duff has a change of attitude and she's like, you know what? I don't deserve this anymore. And so stands up to Jennifer Coolidge and is like, I quit. And I quit this family. And she gets the whole diner to quit. And Rhonda's going to take care of her.
What she should have done all along. Way to
Yeah.
step up now, Rhonda.
Like,
a
honestly,
year, one more year. That's all she had.
This is really weirdly inspiring
Oh, yeah.
because her entire school just made fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't get into her dream college. And she says the words, I think, what? I may not have a family. I may not have a place to live.
Yeah, I might not be
Like,
able to pay for college.
Right, yeah. And then she's like, but at least you're not going to kick me around or something. So, like,
Yeah.
Which brings us back to the point we were talking about earlier, where it's like she found the strength and the belief in herself before she found it because of a guy.
Right.
Like he was
Or
part of the
anything,
story,
really.
like
Yeah.
that scenario, but it was the whole scenario that was really like molded her into this becoming this like confident woman.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. Y'all crying.
We're all
I'm
crying.
not.
Just for the record, I think Alina is crying.
Oh my God.
It's saline. I have content. That's what it is. It's a fake glass.
For the record, Alina is crying.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on because
so
it's
good.
too
It was
much.
so good.
We're going to move on to the big game. We're getting at the big game. The big
the big gay. I was like, yes, let's talk about it.
game.
Bring 'em in.
2018, guys.
So we go to the game, and Hillary Duff wants to finally like address Chad Michael Murray because
In the locker
he
room.
kind of just like let her get made fun of in that pep
Yeah.
rally. Like he
Yeah.
didn't do anything about it. They had this like tumultuous online relationship, and
Well,
then nothing.
He was surprised too. 'cause
Yes, he was
like,
upset too. He
"Oh,
was
she's
embarrassed as
pretty."
well. So Hillary Duff busts into the locker room. There are half naked boys. There are some clothed boys, and she goes right up to Austin and gives a full speech, including the line, which we can all say.
Do we all want to say it at the same
Yes, because waiting for you is
Is
like,
like
waiting
waiting
for
for
rain in this drought. Useless
Useless
and
and
disappointing.
disappointing.
Ugh, like that was in so many girls' like AIM profiles and
Yes.
away messages.
I said to my father once, he was late to pick me up, and I was like, waiting for you is like this waiting for this drought. Useless and disappointing. He was 5 minutes late to pick me up.
And also,
I was a
you live
bratty
in New York,
13-year-old.
New York, right?
No, that was Connecticut. I was
Oh, there was no drought in Connecticut.
There's never been a drought
there
in
was a
Connecticut.
drought. There was no cars coming to pick my ass up, okay?
Car drought, you said.
Yes, and I was embarrassed. My friends were waving to me in the bus. I was like, Dad, where are you? I could get kidnapped. And I got in that car. I shoved the door. I was like, get me ice cream. And he still loved me. He was my Austin Ames. He was.
Aw.
That's how it was, guys.
Aw. Oh, that's where she's like, you know, I may have no family and no
Yeah.
money for
Ugh.
college, but it's you I feel sorry for. And I was like, ooh, and she
Yeah.
tells him what it is. And she's like, because you have like a dream and you have all this support and you're not out there like doing what you want to do, being a writer. Yes. Yes, queen. So she leaves. She's all emotional. She meets up
Turns
with
into Jonathan from Queer Eye.
Yes.
she's like, can you believe? She meets up with Carter, the best friend, who's like, oh, how was that? You're so brave. I love you. We're best friends. Best friendship ever.
It's great.
Oh, such
And
a
she's
good
like, what actor are you
friendship.
today? He's like, I'm just gonna be me. I love that scene. They like walk
Oh,
away.
yes.
Like, in like the nice little hallway. It's just really a really good scene.
So they decide they're going to go to the game anyway. They're going to sit and watch that game, and they're not going to be bothered. And then they're walking away, and because he's wearing various costumes the whole time, he's just in t-shirt and jeans. And she's like, I like what you're wearing, by the way. What are you today? And he's like, no, I'm going as myself. She's like, that's your best look yet. Oh, I'm going to cry.
That's the real love story. I feel like you don't give a crap about Austin. You're like, who cares?
Yeah, like they're best friends and I love them. But we cut to the game and everyone starts cheering because Austin's gonna like win this game for everyone, and everyone's like, Austin, and
that was me in the background.
And
someone eventually is just like, what's her actual name?
Yeah.
We should
and
stop
why are
calling
we
her
always
this.
cheering her name?
Like, right. Diner, what's your name? Sam. Sam.
So she's like, I thought I could watch this, but I can't. This is too much. So she gets up and leaves. And then Austin sees her leaving and is like, wait, I gotta reevaluate my whole life right now in these few seconds before this last play of the game. And he decides, I'm not gonna play this. And he gets off the field and Dad's like, you're throwing away your dreams. And what does he say? I'm not throwing away my dream. I'm throwing away your dream, Dad. And he gets off the field and he runs to Hillary Duff and
they make out.
They make kiss.
Okay.
Wait.
Before we get to that big point, I want to make another point, smaller point,
good.
about the football game, which is this was the last play, and he was like, peace, guys, and then he left. But thankfully, the writers added in. He stopped he stopped next to his friend, who I guess was on the bench, and he was like, it's your time to shine. And then the friend, like, smiled. And then, like, in the background, they won the game.
Yeah.
So, in case anyone, like me, who was worried, thinking like, he just let everyone down. He didn't.
They still did
So
but he could have.
He could have, but he didn't. So it all worked out. Anyway,
fast forward. He runs up to Hillary Duff, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, what I should have. Yeah. He's like, what I should have done a long time ago. And they kiss, and then a raindrop comes down from the sky, and then it's raining, and the drought is over.
love broke the drought, everyone.
She's Mother Nature. She killed her dad and then like changed the world when she made out with a boy. She's literally Mother Nature.
She is.
I love Hillary Duff.
Oh,
Talk about the lost song that plays throughout the movie because
so good.
everything.
And Carter looks over and he's so proud of his friend. And then
And his new
he
friend,
smiled.
Austin Ames. They're gonna be pals.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they'll have a great relationship.
Yeah.
And he says, you gotta love high school.
And then he like turns to the camera and winks, and then the camera goes boing.
And he whispers, 2 years from now, the hills have eyes. And they're like, cut. He somehow snuck in with a mustache to the editing room and
Put it back in there.
Zorro outfit.
So at this point, our movie's just about over. We just have like a little epilogue, and this will be an everlasting love plays
This
again.
will be.
And you find out that the will was hidden. Her father did have a will. It was hidden in the fairy tale book.
that I guess she hadn't opened for
Well, she was
8
in
years.
grief. I guess.
Yeah,
That
she was
makes-
in
I mean,
grief.
that makes sense.
Sam now owns everything, and she owns the diner, and her and Rhonda do business together, and
the Fiona and her daughters
work at the diner now.
work at the diner and were arrested because
Yes.
because
They
they
were?
had to work out a deal with the district attorney,
Oh.
which was community service at the diner. So they must have done something wrong.
Probably
I guess
hiding a
hiding-
will
hiding
that
a
she
will must
signed.
be-
She's
yeah,
basically she was basically a slave, so I guess like it works that way. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. And then
And
Carter?
Yeah, go on.
You sell it.
Carter books a commercial. Remember that he was an actor? No, neither do I. But he books like a Zit commercial, which isn't very good, and he's not really great at acting in it. But he books it.
What?
No,
Alina.
in the movie, he's great in the movie, but in the commercial, he's
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying that's what Carter. I'm talking about the character Carter was.
my acne's clear now.
I look for that acne cream all the time. I want to support him. I really do.
I bought stock in it.
Yeah, and that's
I
why you're wearing. That's why you're wearing
acne
gold
cream.
right now.
I'm
You're
wearing-
dripped in gold.
Oh yeah, baby. And then Hillary Duff is like, and Carter finally got the girl. And do we know what's the bully's name?
Shelley?
The popular girl? I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Shelley, yeah.
Shelley?
Shelley's like hanging on Carter, and
Like,
so you're
ooh,
like,
an actor. I
oh,
want to date a
no.
famous guy.
maybe Shelley and Carter are together. That's not good. But then Carter pulls away and locks arms with Haley Williams.
The punk rock
So
announcement
remember
girl.
all
all the
the
butterflies.
I'm into you. I'm into
That played
you. Why
during
did
this
they
whole
pick one of
scene.
the later Paramore songs? I feel like the easy choice would have been Mystery Business. Yes, oh, comedy comes in threes or sevens if you're us. We just kill the joke.
Eat that horse.
So then
I heard eat that
they
horse.
drive
That
off.
horse.
Hillary Duff and Chad
so
Michael
dry.
Murray drive off together, and we hear a Hillary Duff original song. And what song is that?
It was anywhere, but
Anywhere but here, I'm falling through the floor, eating
Yeah.
a wood door.
oh,
Yeah,
so
those are the
good.
words.
I don't want to be anywhere but here. I could do a whole hour on her discography.
Yeah, I think we
Her,
got time.
like
Yeah,
her
I
earlier
think
stuff.
squeeze this
Sparks
in.
was a killer. Sparks was
Oh,
not
so good.
Sparksy.
I sing let the rain fall
When I take a
down,
shower
You
every
wash
my
time.
dreams, let it
I
wash
sang the wrong
away.
words, but I had the melody.
So did she, I'm sure, one time.
Cause I
It's okay.
It's the heart
wanna
behind
feel
it.
the thunder, I wanna scream, let the rain fall down and come in
She
clean.
was so good.
Come in clean.
Her outfit too was great.
Anyway,
in this video.
that's the end of the movie. We should take a minute, regroup, and then rate this film.
Yeah. A Cinderella Story.
And we're back.
Yay!
So we're at the last segment of the episode. Alina, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank
Yay,
you.
Alina.
Thanks for not saying anything about my farts. It was really sweet.
Yeah, it was really bad the whole time.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys didn't mention it. So
Um,
sweet.
So the last thing we do is we go down, we really just give you some concrete ratings. So if you didn't want to listen to the whole episode, but you wanted to know, should I watch this? You can always fast forward to the end and just hear our rating system.
But you missed the good stuff.
You missed the
You missed
fun.
Meat.
You missed the 2 hours we
missed
talked about
the
this
meat
movie.
of the meat cute.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Sweet.
that's
Nice.
iconic.
That's
So as usual, we have a rating system where we rate chemistry, the best friends, romance, and comedy, and rank it all together in order to get a points. I can't math.
in order to get a average out of 20.
Yes.
So that could be a 20 out of 20? Or?
Each film, we decide what, instead of giving it like 5 stars or 5 points, we decide what those sort of merits are. So, Alina, what's it going to be for A Cinderella Story? What have you decided?
The total of it all?
What do they get rewarded in? It's
Instead of
Diners.
5 diners.
Five
Yes,
diners.
5 diners.
Diners.
Hell's diners.
So
Yeah.
Not Fiona's
Not
diners.
Fiona's. No, no,
Those
no,
are
no, no.
demerits.
yeah.
So let's go around. Let's start with chemistry. This is out of 5. Just like off the top of your head, what would you rate the chemistry
Of
between
the cast?
of the 2 leads of
Oh.
The
Chad Michael
romantic
Murray and
leads.
Hillary Duff in this film?
I'm going with a 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Strong, could be stronger, but no
Yeah.
complaints really.
I agree. I think a 3 diner.
Yeah. 3 is a good score because it's not like perfect. Because it's not, at the end of the day, in my opinion, that's not like the center of the film.
No.
Yeah.
But it is, 3 is a good score.
I think because when I was younger, Chad Michael Murray was so hot, and then Hillary Duff is so cool. Like it's just like I would, if I was like younger, I'd be like, oh my god, it's definitely a 5.
Yeah, it's sometimes you mistake chemistry. You mistake like hotness for chemistry.
Right.
Story of my relationships, everybody. Let's get into that one.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna give it 3 too because like the dancing scene and stuff was like real cute, but like the rest of the movie they weren't really like talking in person that much. It was all
Yeah.
like over text, so it's like there wasn't that much opportunity for
Literally 2018 talking.
chemistry. Yeah. Are you with what are you with 3 as well?
3, yeah.
So we got 3s across the board. The best friends in this movie.
5.
5.
12. So 5s across the board.
Incredible.
This
Yeah.
was just a beautiful relief because in romantic comedies you get like the goof, like the best friends,
Right.
yeah, or you get kissing booth where it's like the most like set us back like many decades on like what a male female friendship should be, and they were just so sweet and they were so fun and nice to each other, and I wanted him to have his own movie
Yeah.
and his own season of a TV show on
And I
WB11.
feel like we've almost peaked in terms of friends, like really early in this podcast. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're gonna see another good friendship like that. In a
I
rom-com.
can't think of any in rom-coms.
Yeah.
now,
No,
but
they always have some. If you guys watch Set It Up, that's a good one. That one
We'll
you'll probably
get
like
there.
again, yeah.
Oh,
But
we'll get
otherwise,
there.
like old ones, there's always a fight people have. I feel like, and
Yeah.
like someone's always a little like
Or it's
shady.
like Tupper. What was Rob Corddry's
Tupperware.
name on?
Tepin. No.
Tepin.
No.
No,
That
Tepin
was
was Kissing Booth.
Kissing Booth.
Rob
What was-
Corddry in What happens in
No,
Vegas?
Tipper, and he was
Strangler or something. Dumb like-
Badger.
yeah.
Oh, Tipper was the
Tipper was Lake Bell.
Bell.
And Rob Corddry was like Sludger or something.
Yeah, something awful.
He was like
that.
the loser.
Smog.
But you get something terrible like that. And,
Yeah.
And
This was like a
okay.
genuine best friend like relationship, and I wish me and my friends were this nice to each other and like this supportive. Like that'd be
are.
amazing.
She's like looking at Zach like, be nicer to me. Respect me more.
We don't quite fit the bill of their relationship.
Not quite. They're much cuter than us.
But we
And-
don't quite fit Chad Michael Murray.
And Hillary Duff.
We're like
either.
the two stepsisters. Just two idiots in a pool.
We are. We're constantly doing synchronized swimming and dropping things.
Amazing.
So next the comedy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next is next is romance.
Oh, romance.
Next is the romance in the film in general.
I don't. That's tough. That's tough.
I think the romance was better than the chemistry.
Yes.
Like in terms of just like written.
Yeah.
I'm going to also say you're right, but for some reason I don't feel right giving it more than a 3, so I'm also going to give a 3 to romance.
Yeah.
It kind of sat the same for me.
Because I think if it had better chemistry, it would probably be a better romance, if that makes sense.
Well, it's just it doesn't feel like the central part of the film.
Yeah,
I
at
keep
the end of the day.
forgetting that like I don't know. I feel like at the end she gets together with Chad Michael Murray, and you're like, oh yeah, him too.
Yeah,
You're happy, but
it's
like,
really her story.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
really rooting for her.
I'm more happy that she's going to Princeton than she getting out of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much more
Like
important.
getting out of
Right.
this like
I'm happy she went to
toxic
the ball
environment.
also, like to the
Yeah.
thing. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
Yes.
So I'm going with a 3 for
I like it.
Okay.
Zach, I'm on you. Same
Yeah,
thing.
I think if it were like another movie, yes, chemistry and romance could get different scores, but like I feel the same.
Right.
Like, you know, the romance written was like cute, but you know, it's also teenagers. It's weird. Comedy, I'm giving it a straight 5.
Boom,
Ooh,
boom, boom.
that is. I'm
high.
giving it a 2.5.
What?
It was funny, but it wasn't.
What?
Okay, maybe I won't give it a 5. I think I'll give it a 4.
Don't back down.
No, I'm giving it a 4.
Don't let a man make you back down, Haley.
No,
so
I was coming on strong because I think it is hysterical, but I'm giving it a 4
I'm
because
really looking at it as a whole. I think it was funny, but it wasn't.
I think some of us are looking at it, myself included, through Jennifer Coolidge
Yes.
tinted glasses.
yes.
And she does not the movie make. So I'm gonna go with a 3 as well because
Okay.
it's very funny.
Oh yeah.
No.
But it's a lot of it's 2004 funny.
Oh yeah.
Where
my
it,
favorite
it
year.
holds up,
Valid.
but was it two?
But even for
Yeah, it was.
2004 funny, I was like, this is a decent comedy.
Zach has no heart.
It's
but
not a great
No,
comedy. It's a
it's-
decent comedy.
It not
Right,
only gets
yes,
5
yeah.
diners, it gets 5 Michelin stars. Like
So
it's
you're
so
5
funny.
too?
There's a scene where like she wears a nun outfit and she sneezes and they go bless you. I peed myself. That was amazing.
yeah, for creativity,
It's
like
so different.
obviously this isn't going to be like hysterical
Oh,
because
no.
it's not like a romantic comedy in capital
Yeah.
letters, but
Right,
like
right.
for a romantic comedy, yeah, it's like
Okay,
up
Yeah.
there.
I can be swayed to bump it up to a clean 3.
I'm going
I
to give you a clean
respect
3.
that.
I'm going to give you a clean 3 because
Halves are
like
not cute.
you have to
They're not
like
cute.
there aren't many romantic comedies where it's actually like
Where
hysterical.
Yeah,
Like
I did
you know.
sincerely laugh plenty of times.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
and Tad Hamilton, there were some laughs, some actual real life.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like
For chemistry, we have a 12. For best friend, we gave it a nice full 20. For romance, we gave it 12. And for comedy, we gave it 15. So the total averaged out is 14.75 out of 20, which
Wow.
is definitely our highest. so far.
14.75 diners.
I mean, I'm not sure what order like these episodes are going to air, so this could very well will
Be
be
our
like, yeah,
last
it's the
episode.
second
Goodbye,
one.
everybody.
Or like the second weekend, they're like, yeah, it's the highest so far.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know,
Dumb
but as far as everything we watched so far, so our fifth
Oh,
one
yeah.
that we're recording, it's definitely the highest.
Before we sign off, I am really upset because I never mentioned like how much I loved Hillary Duff outfits throughout this whole
I know.
like normcore like realness with her like cargo pants and her like ball cap and her little like choker necklace just like giving me life. I was like, I wish. I've always wanted to be Hillary Duff and I never
You have the
will be.
hair now. The hair color. You can be it.
Thank you.
You got to do it.
Well, thank you for listening. If you have any thoughts, if you disagree with anything or have a movie that you want us to look into, reach out to us at MeetCuteCast on Twitter and Instagram. Alina, thank you so much for having us. Where can the people find you on the social media?
On social media, for Zach's birthday, I was so nice. I graciously gave himself a Twitter for me. So you can find me at Alina the Virgin.
Amazing.
Yes.
Great.
Also, I want to explain this because people will see it. There's a picture of me like with my head on Jane the Virgin's face, and then there's a picture of like Chipotle over the baby's face. It's Chipotle holding a baby. Like I'm holding a baby Chipotle, not just like a random fucking Chipotle. Johnny think it's weird. And like that's my best Photoshop.
You don't want people to think that it's weird.
No, of course not.
No,
You just photoshopped over Jane the Virgin.
but it's cool weird. It's not like a wow, she's weird. It's like, oh, she's a cool weird. Like Carter would date me. That's all I'm gonna say about that, guys. So find me, tweet me. I have like 2 sweet tweets every 3 years. So enjoy them. They're gifts.
Excellent. Well, I'm Haley.
I'm Zach.
I'm Edward.
And as Hillary Duff says, having you in this drought is the pointless and useful.
What? Bye.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.